Greetings, everyone. I'm Dr. Debbie Phillips, and I hope you've been following along as I have launched a series called Dr. Debbie's Dozen 12 Strategies for Elevating Your Success. And you can't have success unless you learn to handle conflict. So, this particular session is on conflict resolution. If you know my personality, you know I love recommending books, and this one happens to be Radical Candor. The second one is Crucial Conversations. And the third recommendation for handling conflict is Fierce Conversations by Susan Scott. As professionals, we can't have radical success without handling conflict effectively. I want to suggest four types of conflict. The first type of conflict is relationships, how we're showing up in a particular relationship, how somebody is making us feel or we're feeling about a particular situation. So the first type is relationships. The second type is task. That is the manner in which something gets done. The third type of conflict is process. We may have a difference of opinion about, let's say, the recipe, how something gets done. And the fourth type of conflict has to do with status. It's always a bit jarring to have to tackle a tough conversation with a boss or a leader or a supervisor. So it's managing that relationship. I always say business isn't hard. What's hard is relationships. So the four types of conflict are relationship, task, process, and status. So before you approach a conflict, I want you to prepare for the conversation. There's three things I want you to think about. Your mental mindset. I always use an acronym called HALT: hungry, angry, lonely, or tired. We don't show up at our best when we're hungry, angry, lonely, or tired. So think about your mental mindset. The second thing that I want you to think about is your strategy. You don't want to have a conversation or a hard conversation right in the middle of a deep project. You want to give some time and space around that conversation. The third thing I want you to think about is logistically, where will you be when you have that conversation? You don't want to ask the person to come to your office, or you don't want to go to their office. Pick a neutral place to have a tough conversation. You also don't want to have it in an office with the windows, with people walking by and they're like, what are they talking about? They look like they're having a deep conversation. Just pick a neutral location. So before you approach the conversation, you might be tempted to say, I want to give you some feedback. I always say giving feedback is like hugging a porcupine. No one really wants your feedback, but what they're really wanting is feed forward. So change just that simple word from feedback to feed forward. Speaking of feed forward, I look forward to seeing you in the next video. I have covered conflict resolution, and I encourage you to take a look at those other videos as we explore Dr. Debbie's a dozen strategies for elevating your success. So don't shy away from conflict. Conflict can be healthy, especially when you're moving the project and the relationship forward. Okay, keep winning and keep learning and keep resolving conflict.